So hey guys, let's talk about the Infinix InBook X2 laptop. Here it is, and I've been using it for a while now. I think it's about 6 weeks. Here's everything I have to tell you about it. Okay, so I feel like this is something I've said, but just in passing and in writing and on TikTok, I guess, that in Kenya people are buying refurbs. They either know it or they don't know it, but then the refurbs are overpriced, one. Two, the refurbs have older gen processors, as we'll talk about in a few, but also the refurbs, sometimes you're getting a worse deal than if you just bought a new device. And that's why today I'm quite from the onset just recommending this because of its pricing. This InBook X2 laptop starts at 48,500 shillings from expac.com. I've seen some retailers have it at around 50,000 shillings, and for the 50,000 model, I've noticed that it's the 11th gen model. This is the 10th gen Intel Core i5 processor. From the onset, I need you to understand why I would recommend a laptop just at the beginning of a review instead of telling you about my usage with it. First of all, at 48,000 shillings, you're getting an Intel Core i5 processor. Yes, it's the 10th gen model, and that's quite late because we moved to the 11th and the 12th, and now we are seeing Copilot processors. So I am guessing for many people that's an old, this is all tech to recommend. But for Kenyans who are buying refurbs at 50,000 shillings, 30,000 shillings, here's a newer gen processor, a newer gen display, very thin and light outlook, and that's why I would say it's a better option. Secondly, it has a 512 gigabytes of internal storage, and this is not a hard drive, this is SSD. So when you're using it, you don't get that whining sound from hard drives. It's also faster. It has 8 gigs of RAM. I only think you can upgrade storage, not RAM. And at 512 gigabytes, there's no need to upgrade. Then it has a 14-inch display, which I find quite nice. It's matte. What else? It has a 50-watt-hour battery, 45-watt charging via USB-C, and I'm going to tell you more in the review. The Infinix X2 laptop has 2 USB Type-C ports. One of them charges it at 45 watts. There are also 2 normal USB ports, an HDMI port, a microSD card reader, and a 3.5mm headphone mic combo port. So you're sorted, you don't need to buy any dongles. Every important port is here. On your first setup, you're not required to install Windows like certain brand new laptops that come with MS-DOS, and then you have to install Windows, pay for it, or crack it. For many people, the most important thing when getting a laptop is size and weight. Ask around, and many people will tell you that they prefer something that's light, something that's thin, and that's the whole essence of a laptop. And with this device, you're getting exactly that. This is thin and this is light. When you hear of a 14-inch display, I think for some people you might think that's a big laptop, but that's not the case. One, because the bezels on this device are very tiny. Even if you compare them to my MacBook Pro, the bezels here are tinier. The device is compact and it will fit in many of the laptop sleeves that are made for 13-inch laptops. Okay, although you get a laptop bag when you buy the InBook X2, I got a laptop bag as you saw in the unboxing, you will need something like this, a carrying case. So this has been my carrying case for the MacBook Pro. I got it from Elite Digital, and I realized even though this is 14-inch, I can fit the X2 laptop here very well with no problems, and it's even lighter on the bag, so carrying it around is not a problem. The board is made from what I presume is a magnesium alloy. It doesn't flex and it doesn't scratch easily. The only downside is that it gets fingerprint very easily, so it will get dirty easily. I've seen on Infinix website there are a couple of variations of this. Some come in blue, some come in black, but I don't know if in the market you'll get that. You'll be able to carry this device around easily, and you can use it in different sitting positions, whether you're traveling outside, whether you're in a car or just out for some picnic time. But that's where there's a couple of caveats. So let's talk about the display. The 14-inch display is very impressive. I can say in my book, for this price point, this is a good display. My only complaint will be that it doesn't get bright outdoors. I need something that gets a little more brighter. What I love, and I've already talked about this, is the anti-glare finish. So here's the MacBook Pro, M1 MacBook Pro, and Infinix InBook X2 laptop. I just want you to see the amount of glare. I'll use this under bright light because it gets very bright. This one doesn't, so that's a huge issue. Color accuracy is not as good here. This is very color accurate. So I'm not saying it's better, I'm just saying the anti-glare here is a really good addition if you work under bright light or if you just don't want reflections. Now let's talk about performance. Like I already said, this laptop is really good value for money, and I guess that's the point of my review. I ran a couple of benchmarks on Geekbench and on Cinebench, and as you can see, this device isn't powerful, it doesn't perform well. Geekbench results, as you can see, show that it's quite there in terms of like mid-ranger phone in terms of performance. Cinebench is just last on the list of comparable devices. So yeah, don't expect to play games on this device. This is a notebook. It's meant to be your device for typing, researching the web, using social media. A little simple video editing if you're using apps like CapCut, and a little photo editing if you're using simpler apps like Polar. So if you're thinking of a device for gaming or heavy work, this isn't the laptop to consider. But if you're looking for a notebook to type on, research, use it for long hours and all that, this is, could be one of the devices you should be thinking about. Talking of that, let's talk about the battery. For this size of a laptop, I fear that the most missed opportunity for Infinix is battery. This device comes with a 50-watt-hour battery, which I feel is small. I think at this size and for the amount of stuff that it packs, I would expect around 80 to 90 watt-hour battery, which will ensure longer battery life. From my use case, I've discovered that I use it for about 4 to 6 hours depending on what I'm doing, and then it will run out, which is not bad, but that's not impressive at all, because on the other side, I've been using a laptop that I can do 3 days, 4 days without charging. The good thing is you can do up to 6 hours from my use case. Some people might be able to eke out a little more depending on what you're doing with the laptop. But the other good thing is it's Type-C. So charging it is easy. You just use your phone charger or the laptop charger that comes in the box, 45 watt, and it will charge well. And I've also realized it doesn't get that hot depending on your use case. Just browsing and all that, it will be very silent, as you can hear. No fan noise at all. Okay, let's talk about other important things about the laptop. First of all, and this is very important if you're going to be using your laptop a lot, it has a backlight on the keyboard. So if you're in a dark room and you want to see your keyboard quite well, you can turn on the backlight. Second thing is the cameras have 2 LED lights that are supposed to illuminate your face. So if you on a video call, you can switch them on and then your face will be brighter. From my use case, they aren't that bright, and the camera, though 720p, isn't that good. But this is to be expected because very many devices come with 480p cameras, so seeing a 720p camera on this is quite good. Thirdly, I need to mention the speakers, and here's a volume test.
Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down, call her ambulance, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and be mama, how many options? Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down, call her ambulance, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and be mama, how many options really got?
Fourth thing, in my experience, there has been no fan noise, so that's a plus. But the fan noise was there when I was setting it up for the first time. So when you're installing Windows updates, when you're installing an app, or when you're running heavy things, the fans will come on. Point number 5, or the fifth important thing, is the fact that there is no bloatware. I expected a little bloatware or a couple of apps from Infinix or an Infinix sort of ecosystem being built here, but I've noticed there is nothing. The laptop comes with Windows 11 and you go through the setup process and that's it. I expected maybe an app from Infinix like Xshare or all that, and I haven't seen that. The only thing that you can use to link your phone to your laptop is Link Your Phone Companion app. I've been using it, I've been receiving texts and notifications from the Infinix phone to here, and all has been working quite well. I wish that if Infinix were to upgrade this laptop, the thing that they should touch is the processor. Keep the frame, keep the pricing, keep most of the internals, keep this display, and at least just find a way to make the pricing as low as it is right now. This is a laptop I wish to be seen sold by more retailers across Kenya, so that we move from this idea that you have to buy an ex-UK or an ex-Chinese laptop to get a good deal. I also really hate seeing MS-DOS on newer laptops, so it's a good thing that this comes with Windows 11 activated. And I want to see newer laptops come into the market competing at this price point. Infinix now has the uphill task of getting at least more people to know about this device and getting young people to consider this, especially in high school or when joining campus, as a device to buy. I bet this is something that a lot of students who will get it will use for a long while, because in terms of updates, you're not relying on Infinix apart from firmware, and I haven't received any, and there is no app to access firmware updates anyway. So you will only rely on Windows to get your updates, and that's good. Okay, so I've linked in the description where to buy the laptop. You can tell me your thoughts on it in the comment section, and you can share this video with anyone who's looking for a new laptop.